Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another one of our webinars. As I said earlier, I'm Matt Moneypenny, the Etactics Marketing and Sales Analyst. I'm going to kind of be the mediator for today's speakers. In today's webinar, we'll be covering the newly integrated partnership between Etactics and SAP Business One. This partnership is a guided effort to successfully implement an ERP that allows both parties to enjoy access to XML data from a platform that provides direct integration into Etactics' document composition and delivery platform, or as we like to call it, ADoCs. This webinar will be recorded, and both the slideshow and the video will be provided to all signups once it's complete. Now, before we dive right into the content of this presentation, I'd like to go and to introduce each of our speakers for today's webinar. First, we have Bill Salm, the Vice President and General Manager at Etactics. He's a 33-year technology professional that has spent the last 7 years educating healthcare professionals on best practices associated with revenue cycle management. Thanks for coming, Bill.
Thank you.
And we have Scott Long, who is the president and founder of Long Business Systems Incorporated. He originally started his business system career in 1982 while working at R.R. Donnelley & Sons and RB&W Corporation. Working at these companies helped lay the foundation for starting Long Business Systems Incorporated in 1989. Now, before handing the presentation, welcome, Scott.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Now, before handing the presentation over to both of these gentlemen, I'd like to let everyone know that at the end, we'll be having some time for some questions that you may have. So anything that you ask during their presentation, we will address at the end.
Great. Thank you, Matt. Again, this is Bill Salm with Etactics, and I wanted to thank those that are attending today, both those folks that are in the Eastern Central time zones, good afternoon. Those in Mountain and Pacific time zones, good morning. The agenda for today is pretty straightforward. The meeting is not going to be significantly long, or the webinar itself, but we certainly want to introduce our ADoCs, or our document composition factory, to the marketplace. We want to talk about working with data, specific data that comes to us from SAP Business One, and what we can do both in document composition and delivery that is unique, that might help your organizations better serve your clients, continue to generate timely payment from a revenue cycle perspective, and then provide you folks with a platform that not only addresses the means in which clients want to receive these transactional documents, but also helps facilitate and reinforce the respective brands, your organization, as you present, if you will, a professional document to the clients that you folks serve. So today's agenda is going to be one in which we're going to introduce who Etactics is, why we specifically made the switch from older legacy systems to SAP Business One, what we learned along the way, and a lot of that had to do with a lot of hand-holding from Scott's team at LBSi, what our ANSI, or our ADoCs document composition factory, is all about, and then we'll go through a couple business case examples about why these respective examples that we'll illustrate are unique, and then we'll talk about the benefits of utilizing our ADoCs platform. Introduction into Etactics. We're a privately held company. We're located just outside of Cleveland, Ohio, so a little sleepy suburb between Cleveland and Akron, Ohio. We've been around since 1999, so we're coming up on our 20th year in business. And the majority of what we do as a software development company is managing transactional data, specifically from a healthcare perspective, managing claims data in an electronic manner to ensure that our clients get paid. And over the years, that business model became extended into the after insurance payment, or that patient responsibility component. So we became very familiar with transactional data in the healthcare space that was represented as a respective patient statement. But we serve today roughly over 4,000 clients nationwide. Those clients vary. Still a pretty strong percentage of our customers in the healthcare space, roughly about 85%, but we do serve some pretty significant clients in the commercial space, and we also serve some municipal clients as well. Now, we do print and mail transactional documents in multiple locations in the U.S. today. Our primary locations are in the Great Lakes regions. We have a facility in Ohio, we have a facility in Illinois, and we have a facility in Wisconsin. So if your customers have demands in regard to printing and then mailing or fulfilling the delivery of these transactional documents using the USPS, we have a redundant platform, we have a DR strategy that affords us the capability to make certain that we meet your needs from a service agreement perspective without fail. We also have developed our own electronic presentment portal. So a lot of our clients today will come to us, ask us to provide them with some CSS styling to make that presentment portal, if you will, very unique. All these transactional documents can then be viewed electronically after authentication in the portal. And then we've got multiple integrations with a variety of payment aggregators and merchants that we can direct you folks to based upon your respective needs. So a very, very robust platform. Why we made the switch to SAP Business One. So over the years, as our business became a little bit more complex, the platform that we use to bill our customers, so transactional data coming out of our system, was a combination of both data available to us in FoxPro and QuickBooks. And what we realized from a customer billing perspective, so Etactics actually generating transactional documents that made it easy for our clients to understand the transactional charges and the respective bill rates for the services that we actually delivered. We recognized that our clients' needs became much greater. And the legacy platforms just didn't allow us access to the data readily. But the other limitations that we had using these legacy platforms is it didn't give us a 360-degree analysis of the data. So if we wanted to pull the data apart to truly understand very quickly or near real time what our profit margins were at a specific client level or for a specific service level requirement, it was just very limited and required a lot of programming in some legacy platforms where the resources that we had available to maintain, if you will, the programming associated with the return of those reports just wasn't acceptable from a business practice perspective. So we took upon ourselves in 2017 to start doing some analysis on a variety of ERP products out there that might meet our needs. And there's a variety of different platforms, certainly, that are available to any organization today. However, through this analysis process, we recognized that the SAP Business One platform afforded us a lot of benefits. And we also had access to a local partner, a group called Long Business Solutions Incorporated, LBSi. Scott Long represented on the webinar today. And Scott's business not only had a tremendous amount of experience with transactional data, but also provided us with easy access, if you will, during the implementation phase of SAP Business One. They're located in Strongsville, Ohio. They're roughly only about 15 to 20 minutes away from our location. So we recognize that SAP Business One best served our needs. LBSi, as I mentioned earlier, offered us extensive experience with both implementation and support of the product, and then their local access was critical as we made the transition from FoxPro to QuickBooks. And that transition consumed a fair part of Q1 and Q2 of 2018 as we turned on various complexities of the ERP. And today, I'd say we enjoy roughly about 95 to 98% utilization of the technology. You know, what we learned along the way is that transactional data, invoice and statement data specifically, is very readily available and accessible in the SAP platform. Now, we serve SAP customers today, and we generate roughly about 60,000 documents that we deliver for a variety of different clients. But not only is the accessibility of the data critical to what we do from a document composition and a delivery perspective, but how the data comes to us. So the data comes to us from SAP in a very structured format, in an XML format. And that structure affords us the capability to give our clients just a great amount of versatility when it comes to document composition. The more structured the data, the more predictable it is, the easier it is for us to write various parsers, if you will, to map the data to a variety of templates, making the client experience that much greater. So having access to data from SAP allows the customers that we serve to source a company like Etactics to provide them with this custom output and the delivery platform that has been really kind of a bedrock of our organization now for almost 2 decades. What we learned along the way is that SAP, as it operates in other entities, organizations, is a very effective tool that allows them, if you will, to take a look at inventory and manufacturing and operational financial needs. Now, there are some native document composition creative tools inside of SAP, but they're not necessarily best utilized or designed to drive unique document composition or output requirements, something that might be very unique for your business that your customers demand in this custom invoice or statement world that we can, in essence, use our ADoCs or our document composition factory to kind of drive. And then one of the other things that we've learned we can assist with is building automated routines that also tell us what the delivery alternatives are of these transactional documents based upon your customers' needs or their respective demands. Do they want to receive that document from a printed and mailed perspective? Would they like to view it through an authenticated portal? Would they like to potentially share that data as an EDI feed between 2 respective clients? All those things can be accomplished using transactional data from SAP Business One and also using the document composition tools and resources here at Etactics. So what is what we call ADoCs or ANSI document composition system? Well, everything that we do here at Etactics, we try to build through a standard platform. We're using ANSI formats. ANSI is the American National Standards Institute, and they basically have predetermined what an electronic document or an invoice or a statement, when it's printed and mailed, what that format should look like. And we believe in using these normalized standards because it makes it easier for our customers then, if they do need to make a change to a different provider, to take what we've built and co-develop that format, and it affords them the capability to be easily served in the future. But the predictability associated with these ANSI formats allows our software development team to build the parsers that are going to be critical to map the data to these unique invoice or statement designs. It also affords us the capability to collaborate on business rules with our customers. And these business rules really can vary. In the healthcare space, it's very, very common for an account of record to age for a variety of organic reasons. So we can take a look at unique data that comes over to us in the XML file, collaborate with our customers as we see different data points like aging buckets as an example, or it could be minimum balance or maximum balance. So we can write business rules around those data points that come over to us in these structured files that determine, if you will, what kind of status or alert that goes along with that account. And that affords us the capability to pull in some very unique messaging. And that messaging can be very unique all the way down to the individual account level. So we can pull in very, very unique content messages that might be, if you will, tied back to that alert that might say your account is past due. Please contact our office immediately to try to make some type of payment rearrangement. Or maybe the alert or the business rule allows us to pull in some unique logo. And we'll illustrate that here with one of the examples that we're going to bring up. But the business rule capabilities that we enjoy from the structured data is very, very versatile, and our ADoCs document composition factory affords us the capability to do some very, very unique things for our clients. And again, those flags can be used to also automate the delivery process or identify the preferred delivery method. Most of the clients that we work with don't enjoy the sophistication, if you will, to create the flags on their side. So we'll collaborate during the onboarding process, and then we'll incorporate those flags on our side. But we do work with some very sophisticated and technical clients. They certainly have the capabilities to control those flags on their side. We'll understand what those flags mean from an interpretation perspective, and then build the business rules to deliver the documents accordingly. So here's an example of what output might look like using our ADoCs platform. In this particular case, and in all instances here at Etactics, all of the transactional documents that we deliver, whether they're printed or whether they're presented electronically or pushed electronically to clients, are going to be produced in color. The cost of color today versus monochrome is virtually very nominal. But color goes a long way, obviously, in reinforcing a brand, but more importantly, can be a very effective tool in highlighting charges or credits. It can bring a client's eye or attention, if you will, to potentially a past due status, whatever it might be. But in this particular case, we have a lot of flexibility. Our ADoCs composition tool can drive what we call a top remit application, can also drive a bottom remit application. We serve a lot of utility applications where the remittance component of this respective document would be located on the bottom. Another example of some additional color inclusion might allow for some unique messaging on the document itself, but of course flags in that respective statement file or invoice file that we receive from the client could also allow us to drop in some type of promotional insert or letter, affording our clients the capability to uniquely upsell to their customers. So we can look at various unique data points in the file and drive a one-to-one campaign based upon those associated business rules. Another example of a unique document is one in which we serve a large financial institution that's located in the Midwest. This is a finance company, and the transactional documents that are presented to the end user of the equipment that's been financed typically find themselves itemized by things like application ID or potentially agreement number or potentially by business unit. And identifying those data points in a well-structured file like XML affords us the capability to itemize those charges accordingly, making it easier for this end user, this recipient, to charge these respective costs back to that respective business unit. Again, it's all about trying to influence the customer to pay in a timely and responsible manner. The structured data, working with the client to build the business rules out, affords us the capability to design these documents to be very unique. And again, we're going to be utilizing color throughout the document, potentially to alert them through the inclusion of a note or potentially highlighting the total amount due someplace on the document itself. So the benefits of utilizing our ANSI document composition solution, ADoCs, is just automation, number one. Not every SAP Business One client is the same. By working with a provider like an Etactics, we can allow them to enjoy automation where, once a month, once a day, once a week, we can take in this transactional data and compose these transactional documents and then automate the delivery process in a very seamless manner. It also affords them then to, if they're internally using their own resources to generate these transactional documents, and then of course assembling them and then getting them out into their clients' hands, is we can, in essence, influence them to redeploy those human resources to other customer-facing tasks while we automate the process. Of course, we take data in that day. We can ensure if it's electronically delivered, it's going to be presented to the customer of record the same day. If it's a print mail application, we can guarantee that it's going to be in the mail stream the very next business day. So getting documents out to clients in a timely manner also guarantees that the customer can pay potentially within term, which is critical to a revenue cycle continuum. From a cost savings perspective, typically because of our transactional size, again, we serve thousands of clients. We process millions of documents on a monthly basis. We're going to commingle all of these respective jobs, if you will, into large batches. It provides us with some greater cost savings. We can typically do this at a 25 to 30% operational savings to our customers, without even taking a look at their initial operational costs. In some cases, we can even save them more money over and above that 25 to 30%. And it also makes it very easy for them to budget. That all-in cost can be fixed. All they need to understand through our help is what their transactional volume would look like on a monthly basis, and then they can straight line budget those respective costs on a monthly basis. Or we can help with our various price models, help them with a pricing model that makes it very easy for them to budget on an annual basis as well. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Scott, and Scott's going to explain some of the integration that we enjoy.
Yeah, so this integration that we did is for Etactics for their internal financial and accounting system to bill their customers, and that's how they use Business One. And this is overhead add-on. It really consists of one screen, so only the person who's extracting the invoices to send it over to ADoCs needs to even have this add-on working. We have this one that just tracks the date time that we extracted the invoices, so we don't extract them twice, or if we want to re-extract the file, we can. Etactics is going to provide you as well as a standard XML file creation free of charge. And then you could take ownership of this and modify the stored procedure that creates the XML file format, or Etactics can work with you on maybe adding some fields that you have in your system that you want to include in this XML file format. We can work with both databases that come with SAP Business One, HANA or SQL. And in 8.8 to 9.3 Business One, it's the 32-bit add-on. It's a 32-bit add-on. And 9.2 to 9.3, it really doesn't matter what client you're using of Business One. So if you have an IT company or you have an internal IT staff, you could take full ownership of this. If you want to use the foundation that Etactics already has set up and get this thing working right off the bat, you have that ability as well.
Thank you, Scott. All right, folks, so this is the piece in the webinar that affords you the opportunity to ask through Matt either questions of myself or of Scott. So I will turn it over to Matt and afford him the capability to kind of represent your questions.
Thanks, Bill. Yeah, at this time, if you guys have any questions with regards to what Scott and Bill just went over with LBSi and Etactics' integration with SAP Business One and ADoCs, now's the time. In the meantime, Bill or Scott, you guys have anything else you would like to add other than what you've already gone through?
Yeah, this is Scott Long. If in the future you want to have a one-on-one conversation and take a look at more of the details of exactly what the stored procedure looks like and how this could get connected with Business One, obviously we'd be happy to do a one-on-one session with you.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great point, Scott. We'd be more than happy to take 30 or 60 minutes, out of any respective Monday through Friday and walk through the process with you folks.
All right, so I'm not seeing any questions, so you guys must have covered each other's topics really well. Just as a general reminder, all of this will be recorded. I'll be providing the slideshow and the video to all signups and all attendees. If you have any further questions, I will also include an email containing both Bill and Scott's contact information. But other than that, I hope everyone has a great day. It's sunny here in Ohio, so have a good one, everyone.
Thank you.